welcome to another episode number 30, and happy birthday to Up
1
and
year.
Foiling. Yes,
1
it's
year,
almost
party
1
time!
year.
Yeah. Oh, covering all those races.
Yeah, it's America's Cup and SailGP. And
Yeah.
don't forget, we should have brought
Yeah.
a little birthday hat and a little trumpet to celebrate, but we wanted to wait for Big House next time. We will do probably.
Yeah. With the editing, we're gonna add all the celebration stuff, so don't worry.
Definitely. So here we are, close to a double header, coming also from an event in Germany, which was pretty interesting. Before going to talk to the next event, maybe we should have a look at what happened in Sassnitz, this unpronounceable location. What happened?
Let's rewind the tape and go all the way back to a few weeks ago, where we really had a very interesting and windy first part of the event. Day one was super windy, and Germany, out of nowhere, with Sebastian Vettel probably giving them wonderful tips, they did really well. They won the first race on day one, so amazing. It must have been amazing for the crowd there as well. And a few
Was he undercover on board?
Yeah, maybe he was driving, with the with the goggles on and everything. Yeah. And how about the event? Who won, Theo?
The overall event, you already go straight to the point.
Yeah.
France France took the overall win in day two in the final, where there were also Australia and Great Britain. Great Britain had an amazing second day, not so amazing first day with a crash with the US boat, where we saw, at least I saw my first SailGP crash with debris on the track. This is something that usually I hear in Formula One races, but actually not on a race course on water, and I would have never expected. But they managed to repair the boat, and then they had, as I said, an amazing day two with 2 wins and a second place, and this granted the position in the final. But despite a very nice start in the final, they didn't manage to beat France, which made a nice recovery and a nice last leg. And despite also a couple of maneuvers more, they managed to cross the line in first position. Day two was pretty tricky. I think there was less wind than day one, and they really struggled to stay on the foils, to be honest.
Yeah, there were lots of shifts, and these you could see them on the water, these bullets of wind. And it was really, sometimes you get so much separation with these fast boats that one boat is on one side of the course, the other is on the other. And really, there's a big difference on what wind each boat can have. And that's what made the final. It's also harder to control the other 2 boats behind. I think the finals used to be of 2 boats, but they made them 3 for 3 boats a few years now. And it's really better because there's not just one boat you have to cover if you're the first boat, but you have to also try and stop the other one. And it's very likely that the other one will take the opposite mark with respect to the other 2. So it's a nice element to the finals. And mistake from GBR, and France took advantage of it. It's great for France because they had a hard start to the season. They couldn't participate. I think they're in the standings. They should be a little bit higher. I think they should be with the group of top 4. We always talk about as New Zealand, Australia, GBR, and Spain's also in there. And I think France could also be among them. Very experienced team.
We are analyzing last race like a shrimp going backwards, but day one was really a windy day, and SailGP, especially Denmark, but not only Denmark. Let's say Denmark now holds the record for the highest speed ever recorded in SailGP, but also other teams, they went above the 2 digits, so they went over 100 km per hour. That was impressive, and especially when you think of what can happen if something goes wrong, and we have seen what can go wrong in the preparation race, right, Ricky?
Yeah, so 100 kilometers per hour is where foils cavitate usually. So that means like air bubbles form around the foil. The lift isn't so constant that they produce. And the feeling for the sailors is really that it all starts shaking the boat. So that must be not very nice, especially if you have the steering wheel in your hands. And we saw a couple of incidents here with rudders flying off from the French team. Amazing. So the driver
amazing to see.
Yeah,
not amazing for them.
Not to leave, no. the driver flew straight over the wheel and it broke really the steering wheel. That was amazing to see. So yeah, De La Pierre will have had a very tough start to the weekend, but amazing comeback. And finally, at the end, he was having the trophy in his hands, and that's also a steering wheel. So a good repair on that one. And another big one was Brazil. Brazil, a total collapse of the wing. They had a big nosedive, so as we call our flops, but they had a nosedive even before the event started, and that meant they were out from the Sassnitz SailGP. But the good news, they'll all be back. Also the US team, also we saw the English, the GBR team was already back and sailing for the final. But also the US had some issues with that contact. But they'll all be back, and that's also probably the advantage of competing in Europe, because it's the base in the UK is so close, so they probably send quickly the boats there for repairs and then send them back out to Saint-Tropez. And this brings us to our preview part of our episode of Saint-Tropez.
Yes, location, south coast of France. We have both never been there. We noticed before this preview. So I don't know if somebody is hearing from SailGP, maybe, I don't know, it could be like an invitation. Never hurts, I would say. Yeah, Saint-Tropez, it's also a location where usually wind, it's not missing, right, Ricky?
Yeah, we had the record that was stolen from Sassnitz. Was really first obtained in Saint-Tropez, where they had the previous record speed. And yeah, it was blasting with wind. I remember very short wings they were using. It was among the first time I'd seen those short wings. But at that time we did not have T-foils, for example, that now make the boats go a little bit faster, at least, as we've seen. But we also have an update in kit for Saint-Tropez. Tell us about it, Theo.
Yeah, there will be some new rudder actually. So apparently, due to this high-speed forecast for Saint-Tropez, they thought that maybe it's good to introduce some new components that could allow better control, and in high speed especially. So they are some rudders that can shift what you have said before, which is the cavitation. Yeah, up to 106 kilometers per hour. So we can expect maybe the record to be beaten again, maybe.
If it's windy.
It's always living on the edge, like up to which speed do you want to go before risking to go nosedive. But also some new updates in the software. And this is also for safety. We have seen when you have a nosedive, it's not funny at all, not only because you break the whole boat, but it's almost like having a crash test on the road. I mean, it's, of course, water is not something completely solid, but at that speed, you literally fly outside the boat. You can fly outside the boat. Yeah. So we have this new software which could help avoiding this high load situation. So these are the new technological innovations that will arrive in Saint-Tropez, but we also have some news regarding the future of SailGP.
But yeah, regarding the software, I think it's very useful, to introduce probably some limits on the commands that sailors can give, because I think especially in the incident with France, where the rudder came off, I think it was mainly like an error given on board. While you can see him while he's driving, he's knocked a bit out of balance, and this probably gets transferred a bit to the rudder as well. That then, I don't know, gets placed in a wrong angle with respect to the water, and that's where the load is maximum too high, and then it just comes off. So having a software that says, no, look, you can't give this command because your rudder's gonna fly off is probably a very good thing. New news for the 2026 season. Yeah, next year is new boats are gonna join, right?
Yeah, we are not. SailGP just announced that there will be another team joining the pack, 13th team. Not really not really giving a prediction of which nation would be joining. And then there would be even a 14th team in
Mm-hmm.
2027. I am wondering what will happen at the start, to be honest, with 14
Wow.
team. It kind of reminds me of Formula 2 and Formula 3 races where there are like merciless 15-year-old without regards of breaking the car, breaking anything. So I'm not sure if that will happen because budget here is way lower, but already now it's very crowded, I would say, at the beginning, at the start.
Yes. Yeah, there were talks in the past of making two fleets. So you maybe race the weekend with if imagine there were 14 boats, you can race 7 and 7 in separate groups, and then you probably mix them up in some fancy way and finally have a final once again. So that could be a solution, but wonderful to see new teams. Who do you think is gonna join, Theo? There's no rumors, but
Ooh,
what do you think?
that's a
Any
good
guess?
question. I'm not sure actually which country has a great tradition of sail and it's not yet represented. Maybe Portugal could be one. I'm not sure if they are actually interested, but I could imagine. And maybe something about Sweden or Norway as well. I don't know.
Yeah, Sweden is maybe a good shot with the Artemis program. They were back in the America's Cup with their junior and women's team. That could be interesting to see. I think I don't know if we could see coming back Japan or China. There were two teams that used to be in SailGP, China all back in the day, but Japan stayed a bit longer. And Japan especially has a sailing experience also in the America's Cup as well. So maybe those, but I'm gonna go crazy with my bet, and I might say it could be someone from maybe the Emirates or Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
You know, imagine there's no team from that area, so yeah,
Yeah.
that's my first guess. And then they have the money, so why not? They could buy a team and let's step it up. You know.
Has it ever been a team from South Africa actually? Or?
I don't know. No, I don't think so. No,
Okay, because also
but
that
that's
gives
also a
me
good
an
guess.
idea
Yeah,
of
yeah,
a country that yeah has a kind of a tradition in sailing actually. So
yeah,
or maybe it
yeah.
was just European passing by. I don't know. Back in the days.
Yeah. No, they have a good sailing tradition. But I don't know, maybe they're missing sponsor money. I don't know. Maybe then we see they announce this weekend, oh, South Africa's in.
Yeah, I mean, before I was also thinking, maybe Argentina, but then I thought, okay, it must be
Hard moment.
quite a rich country, I would
Yeah,
say.
definitely. There's still a barrier to get into the sport. Yeah, money is a big part of it for sure.
So let's have a quick look at the current standing, the overall standing, because it's a really thrilling situation is getting
We're getting close.
hot up there, right?
Yeah, yeah, hot and spicy at the top. With we have level points for first place with Australia's Bonds Flying Ruse and the Black Foils. So it's all down under rivalry, you know. Australia, New Zealand always been competing, especially in sailing. And then in sail spot, we have another country famous for sailing, of course. Emirates team GBR is there, just 3 points behind, so really close in contention for the win. They made a good final at in Sassnitz, so they could be there again, of course. In fourth position, they are losing a bit the group of the top three, and let's remember the top three is key for the final that will be in Abu Dhabi at the end of the year. And yeah, we have Diego Botín with Los Gallos, the Spanish team, a few points behind, so another 56 points, and we see Emirates at 58. So they're just 2 points behind the top three, but they'll have to step up their game. They have to find that form they had found in the US, because yeah, if they sail like in Sassnitz, that won't do it for reaching the final. Who do we see at the other end of the leaderboard, or something that sticks out there?
At the other end, okay. At the other end, unfortunately, there is United States at -8 point. I don't even know how they got there with -8 point, to be honest. Then there is Germany, who actually won the first race last event, but they are last, not last. How is it called? Penultimate, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
A
there is
lot of
Brazil,
pen.
and then there is Italy. But my question for you, in the role of our expert, is Do you think France at 5th place with 47 is already out for the chance to be in the final?
This is a very good question. Yes, I think so. Yes.
So games are already set and they are among the first 4. And you
Yeah.
would be like super surprised if something different happens.
Yeah, France has to win all the events, I think, if they want to make it. What is it? 4 events left? Yeah, we have.
I think, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, 3 European and the big final in the Middle East. Yeah, definitely not enough points there. I think it's also because of the point system. Formula One goes all the way up to 25 points for the winner, and here we have only 10. So that probably keeps it closer, but it also gives you less chance of, if you win. Yeah, or if you win the event, it doesn't make so much difference because you can also arrive second or third, and you're still very close in points total. Whereas in Formula One, the first, second, and third, really there's a big gap of points that can be made with those 3 positions. And that's probably what we would like to see as well. It would be interesting to make an exercise and see how changing the point system would change the score at the end of the season. But just to give a little bit more points to the winner because it's a bit more special, You get the money, but...
We really have a lot of good ideas for special episodes. First, this idea with a different point system, and then we definitely will have to discuss the final format because it's something that is really, really controversial.
Yeah. You should all subscribe, follow us, because there's gonna be special episodes where we discuss, the final format and our ideas of how it could be changed. We've seen a lot of people not so sure of how effective or how nice that final race is.
But that is for the future. But for now, you should enjoy the next event in France next weekend. For our followers down under, hang on. I don't know what time it will be the race. It will be probably late in the night, but you can do it.
Early morning.
Early morning, even worse maybe. So enjoy the race the next weekend. We will do, Ricky, and we'll see you for next week for our review and preview of Switzerland.
Yes, double episode, a double week, and a double SailGP.
And Miguel will be back.
Ooh, here we go.